What's good, my lovely peoples? It's your main man, Solace, the sex symbol. I want to do this quick video for y'all on melanin. Break down what melanin is, and does it have anything to do with supremacy within a race? So now, you have melanin. Black people, there's basically speak that black people have melanin, white people don't have melanin, and so on and so forth. Now, melanin has nothing to do with supremacy in a race or anything like that. It only holds relevance if you feel like the sun is God. Then it will make sense. But even then, it wouldn't make sense. But I'm going to break it down to you. You have black people, brown skinned people, whatever you want to call us. We have what you would call melanin. The palm, the bottoms of your feet, that is pheomelanin. So you figure white people are pretty much pheomelanin. Black people are brown skinned, dark brown skinned people are eumelanin. Then you have neuromelanin, that has to do with the brain. Now, a person like me, my skin complexion, I would be a sort of a mixture of pheomelanin and eumelanin. But there's a lot of different melanins. There's melanin for greenish, bluish color. There's melanin for every color. See, melanin has to do with the coloring of life. Nothing more than that. And let me break it down to you before you get discouraged and say, no, but it has to do with this, and I need it to be. Listen, melanin has to do with the coloring of life. So you figure a black person, you are eumelanin and pheomelanin, because the palms and the bottoms of your feet are pheomelanin. And then your skin complexion, your skin tone, the rest of it is eumelanin, which is darker. So you're two-tone. A white person is pheomelanin, meaning they're the color of your palms and the bottom of your foot. But they may have black hair, jet black hair, the white person. So you figure their skin tone would be pheomelanin. But their hair would be eumelanin. Now, a black person with red hair, a red-headed black person, their hair would be pheomelanin. Their skin tone would be eumelanin. Same goes with animals, so on and so forth. A lion would have melanin, probably pheomelanin, and melanin, because a lion has dark hair and dark spots on the face. Even a person, and you see they have like a dark blemish on their skin. That is eumelanin. They have an excessive amount of eumelanin in that area. So melanin truly only has to do with the coloring of life. Now, when you get into the breakdown of how it protects from the sun, so on and so forth, it's truly a little more simpler than that. Dark things tend to be more protected by the sunlight as opposed to things that ain't. So you figure a black person is more protected when in the sun, not because they have more eumelanin, but just because they're black. So it's a simple thing. The eumelanin is the color of their skin. So depending on how much eumelanin a person has, this will determine the color of their skin. Now, if a person has a lot of eumelanin, that would mean that they would be extra dark. And if you're extra dark, you're automatically not going to be affected by the sun rays as fast as someone lighter. So it's no special thing like, oh, if a white person stands in the sun, they're not going to get darker because their skin tone is not made of eumelanin. It's made of pheomelanin. They may have a little eumelanin in it just to balance out the tones, because it's all a color thing. Eumelanin, pheomelanin, it's all mixed in there. And this is how you get the coloring of life. So zebras have both. Like I said, a black person, they would have both palms of the hands, bottom of the foot. So it's all a coloring thing. And within coloring, you get, I don't want to say protection, because the melanin is not protecting the person from the sun. It is just making their skin the color that it is. And that color in itself is what's not being harmed as fast by the sun or burnt as fast by the sun. So let's say a person has 100% melanin, melanin. This is what makes you dark. If a person have 100% melanin, then of course they would be real black. And common sense would tell you if they're standing in the sun, they're probably not going to get any blacker. Their skin is not going to burn and blemish just as fast. It will, because the sun is powerful. But it's not just as fast as someone whose skin tone is pheomelanin. Now, it's a truly deep thing. You have to grasp this. A person that has pheomelanin, so it's almost like we tend to put eumelanin above pheomelanin. Mind you, this is all the same. It's melanin. And there's a whole bunch of other melanins that they haven't discovered yet. Or not discovered, but understand yet. To put it in a category. So you have to understand, at one point it was just eumelanin. Then pheomelanin, neuromelanin, so on and so forth. So they bring things to light as they understand it. So while we're sitting here arguing over that, we need to understand that there's much more different melanins to get to every color. Pheomelanin deals with yellowish to reddish colors. This is why white people look like how they look, kind of yellowish, like the palms of your hands. They like a pinkish, yellowish, reddish. So pheomelanin deals with those colors. Eumelanin deals with dark brown to lightish brown. So you figure Beyonce is pheomelanin. She has pheomelanin. Now her hair's probably dark, so that's probably eumelanin. And it's all mixed up in there. We all mixed up in there with the melanin. A person who's darker will have more eumelanin, of course. They will have more eumelanin than pheomelanin within their body. Someone who's lighter will have more pheomelanin than eumelanin in their body. But this doesn't matter unless you're planning on standing out in the sun all damn day. Or if you hold the sun at a godly reverence, then all of this would matter, mind you. The sun is not pheomelanin or eumelanin. It has all of it. Just like we all pretty much have most of it. This is why blue, purple, green eyes. These have to do with melanin. But they just don't understand all the different melanin. So, here you have it. Now, white people are not recessive, so to say, from sunlight. Because if you think about that, that makes no sense. Recessives means you receive it. And that would be right. White people receive the sun, meaning it burns them the fuck up. Their body pulls it in, and it'll deteriorate them because it's strong. Black people are not that recessive to the sun, meaning the sun doesn't pull to them like that, where it's burning them up like that. This is why if a white person is standing in the sun and a black person ain't, white person is, they're more hotter than the black person because their skin has no block for the sun. And when I say block, it's not protection or any of that, because nothing's going to protect you from the sun, but it's just a dark and light thing. So the lighter you are, the more you pull for the light. The darker you are, the more you are pulled to the darkness. So we kind of have it reversed, where it's like, oh, black people, the sunlight is great for black people. So the sunlight gonna do the same damage to you as it does to a white person. So let's get that clear, because it's not only affecting your outer, it's affecting your inner. So you don't want to be in the sun but for so long if you can avoid it. But to get a fair amount of sunlight is a great thing. But we tend to overdo things. We get a little knowledge. Oh, sunlight is good. Let me go sit in the sun all goddamn day. And we got to get a little more balanced out with our knowledge. So we need to just understand, man. It has to do with coloring. And within coloring, you have certain qualities that's beneficial. Like if you're black as shit, then the sunlight to you is like the same way it is to when a person has on shade. It's kind of blocking the sunlight. It's not pulling it in. Same with a black ass person. A person that's light skin, their skin is pulling for the sun. And it's frying their ass the fuck up. So, pardon my language. So it's truly a simple thing. We need to stop reaching for supremacy, because this is what's blocking people from gaining and acquiring true knowledge. Everybody's equal. Everybody was made from the same source. Even animals. So we need to stop holding ourselves higher than one another. We need to stop pulling for this race is this, and we need to stop pulling for supremacy over animals and all of this stuff. And we need to understand we are all life within the life. We need to take care of the life so that the life can take care of us. We need to have a little bit of balance. You have different shades of people because of melanin. The shade a person's skin is means nothing. This is why you have light and dark people in every race. So let's be clear. Let's stop bullshit talking. In the black race, we probably tend to get the blackest, but all races have darker skin and lighter skin people. Dark hair, light hair. So we need to understand that. Most black people, I hate this time of season, man. Most black people hair are not black. It's like brown, orangish brown. So we need to understand that our hair don't hold as much melanin as maybe a black-headed white person or black-headed Indian. So it's truly a simple thing, man. We really need to stop trying to make things more than they are, because this is where people tend to lose themselves on the knowledge aspect. Everything holds its place in its purpose. And usually it's a simple purpose. And with that purpose, other things are beneficial. Like if you have a lot of melanin, that's beneficial for you if you're standing in the sun. So being as though you have a lot of melanin, the benefit of that is you're black as shit, and you probably would sustain in the sun longer than another person. Well, not even sustain, but you just wouldn't. It wouldn't blemish your skin as much as the next person. If you have a lot of pheomelanin, I don't know what the benefits of that is. It seems like we tend to like lighter skinned people better than darker skinned people. So if you pheomelanin, I guess that's your benefit, that you will be looked at as good looking and good for entertainment, or whatever dumb things we figure out and we think of. But this is how we tend to think in a racist supremacy type of way. It doesn't matter what race you are in. It seems like there's a whole lot of people in each race that thinks in this manner. And we need to understand, man, we just all mixed and mingled in. If you get all the ancient races of man, we are all just a mixing and mingling of them. And they are just a mixing and mingling of all of them that came before them. So we truly need to get some understanding. And just learn, man, and acquire knowledge, man. Stop reaching to add on extra. Just leave things how they are and the beauty that they are in. Until something else is discovered, then so be it. But at the end of the day, the sun is the spirit within the being that we live in. Just like your brain, well, the sperm cell that is within your brain is the sun to the cells within your body. So that is the beauty and the reverence of the sun. That is what it is. That is why the ancients always paid homage and reverence to it, because they understood that. Simple thing, deep thing. That is the spirit of the being that we are in. They held it to a high reverence. And it's truly a simple thing, man. We need to grasp that. We need to understand that the planets and all of these things are organs and things within the body of the being. Just like you have organs and other things within your body. Same thing. You can't say, I believe in as above, so below, but then you don't believe that. See how we talk ourselves? A brother will tell you, man, Solace don't know what he talking about when he say so on, so forth, so forth. When he say the planet is an organ. When he say the sun is the brain of the being, the inside of it, and we live in the being. He don't know what he talking about. But then that same brother will tell you, as above, so below is true, and it makes sense. Mind you, how does that make sense if you don't believe what I'm saying? Because everything I say coalesces with everything I say. So I teach y'all about as above, so below. And then anything I'm teaching you, you'll still see that as above, so below. I don't never stray off of what I'm talking about. Everything I speak on, no matter what topic, it goes with the other topic. So we have to understand that because everything is within the all. So everything is going to have the same qualities as everything else. Some things that just have less or more. It's just like an atom. Up and down quark makes a proton. I mean, two up quarks and one down quark make a proton. Two down quarks and one up quark make a neutron. So they both made of the same things. One just have more of one, and the other has more of the other. And this is the same with atoms. In cells, they're all made of the same things. Some just have less of this and more of that, and some have less of this and more of that. And this is what makes them unique and different from the next. And it's the same in this life. Animals, plants, all life has melanin and all the same things that the next life has in it. I mean, this is why we're all so similar. This is why an ape and a man is so similar. Because we all are made of the same things. Some just have less of this, more of this, less of that, more of that. Now, do we come from monkeys and apes? Listen, man. Evolution don't work in that way where you evolve from a werewolf to a goddamn dragonfly or a monkey to a man. This is why you still see the same things that they say evolved to this. A dolphin evolved to a wolf, but you still see them both. That is not evolving. Evolving is more or less a reptilian spermatozoa or spermatozoid type of life finds a body and develops himself into a man. Or develops itself into a wolf. Because all sperm cell is life. And they all are reptilian in nature. They live in the fluid. They swim within the fluid. So we have to grasp this. This is what evolution is. It doesn't mean... It means you're changing in form. The same thing, but changing in form. Now, it doesn't mean, evolution means it evolved and it rose up and better. Evolve, devolve, they basically one and the same. Ain't no difference. Ain't no devolving where you go down. Evolution is adaptation. Simple as that. It's adapting. The sperm cell went and transformed into all the different transformations it took from adapting. Simple. It adapts. Just like you adapt. So if a person is put into a colder climate, their body will adapt. It will release certain things it doesn't need. It will intake other things that it needs. So this is all how the body works. So if a lighter person is standing in the sun, they will get darker. The body will adjust itself as much as it can and do the best that it can. So that's all it is. Evolution is just an adapting thing. So life came from the waters to land. It evolved, meaning it adapted. That's it. And it changed form. This is how you adapt, by changing form, position, whatever the case may be that you're adapting to, you must change. It's just like a basketball game. You got to change your position. You got to adapt. You got to adjust. This is evolution. Now, are humans going to evolve into robots? No. That is what you call man-made. That is a creation. That's different. Men will always be how they are. You're not going to evolve 300 years from now on into a goddamn big-headed gray alien. Doesn't work that way. The only way you will become a big-headed gray alien is if big-headed gray alien was somewhere and they mixed it in with your genetics and made that. Other than that, a man's going to always look like a man. So you can go back 5 billion years. Men were here. Men were always here. All the things you see were always here. Unless they were genetically altered. Like a liger or a goddamn, what's that, a mule. Anything that was altered probably wasn't here. But anything that, most things you see was already here. So monkeys been here, men been here. Then you have things that pretty much, I forgot that word, but they died off, went extinct. But as far as anything you see, it's always been here. It just hasn't went extinct. If they haven't found bones of they found the pinky of a man. A regular man from 1.85 million years ago. This was in 2012. So now this is above Lucy now. And you can look this up. This is like old news. Like, y'all don't be current with science, but this is old news. They found that since 2012. It's probably like 4 things that done passed that by now. But I just want to make a point. 1.85 million years ago, you had regular men walking here, not looking like half. Because Lucy is a goddamn monkey or a hominid. It's not a fucking man. We gotta stop acting like hominids and men. It's not the same, man. Let's truly get clear on things. It's not the same. Maybe they mixed and mingled and whatever, but it's not the same. Man's always been here. If the Anunnaki came and they mingled their genetics with a hominid and you got man, beautiful. But man was here before they got here. They are not the creators of life. So if a person comes along and genetically alters another species and